All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful, yet so often overlooked tools for your website. It's called Image Alt Text, and it's a total game changer. A tiny detail that can have a huge impact on your traffic and who you're able to reach.
So let me ask you a question. You've spent all this time, maybe even money, picking out these gorgeous, perfect images for your website, right? But what if I told you that for some of your most important visitors, those images might as well not even be there? They're completely invisible.
And this right here, this says it all. On one side, you've got your beautiful product shot, but on the other side, that's what search engines and screen readers actually see. A totally meaningless file name like img8302.jpg. Or even worse, just nothing. Your amazing image is basically just a blank space.
Look, this invisibility thing, it's a really big deal. It's a massive missed opportunity. You're losing out on a ton of potential traffic from search engines, and you could be shutting the door on an entire audience that wants to connect with what you're doing.
But, and this is the good part, there is a super simple solution, a way to make the invisible visible, and it all comes down to this little thing called Image Alt Text.
So what is it exactly? Well, put simply, Image Alt Text, it stands for alternative text, is just a short written description of an image. It lives in your website's code, and its whole job is to explain what's in that picture.
Now I know what you're thinking. Code? Don't let that word scare you off. It is so straightforward. Inside the code for an image, there's just a little part that says alt equals quote mark, quote mark. All you do is fill in the quote marks. And honestly, most website builders these days, like WordPress or Shopify, just give you a simple box to type it in. No coding skills needed, I promise.
Oh, and it's really important not to mix up alt text with an image title or a caption. You know, titles pop up when you hover over an image, and captions are just always there on the page. And while they're fine, alt text is the real heavy lifter here. When we're talking about search engines and making your site accessible, alt text is absolutely the one that matters most.
Because when you use alt text the right way, you're basically giving your images two incredible superpowers. First, it's a massive SEO booster. And second, it makes you an accessibility champion. Let's break down what that means.
Okay, superpower number one, SEO. You have to remember, search engines like Google can't see pictures. They're blind, but they can read text. Your alt text tells them exactly what's in your image. This helps them index it properly, which can seriously boost your ranking in Google image search. That drives a whole new wave of traffic to your site. Plus, it just reinforces what the whole page is about, making everything stronger.
Now for the second superpower, and honestly, this one is even more important: accessibility. Millions of people around the world use tools called screen readers to navigate the web. Your alt text is literally read out loud to them, describing the image they can't see. This makes sure that everyone can access your content. It also helps you meet official accessibility guidelines, and hey, it even helps when an image just breaks and doesn't load for anyone.
All right, so you're on board with the why. Now for the fun part, the how. Let's walk through a super simple playbook for writing perfect alt text every single time.
It really just boils down to 4 simple rules. 1. Be descriptive. What's actually in the picture? 2. Be natural. Yeah, you can use keywords, but only if they feel like they belong there. 3. Be concise. Short and sweet is the name of the game. And 4. Be efficient. Don't waste space on image of or picture of. The screen reader already says it's an image.
So how long should it be? That's a great question. While there's no official hard limit, the sweet spot you want to aim for is under 125 characters. That gives you enough room to be descriptive, but it's short enough that a screen reader won't just cut it off halfway through.
You know, one of the best ways to get this right is to look at how it can go wrong. So let's talk about a few of the most common mistakes people make so you can turn your good intentions into really great results.
This table just lays it all out, doesn't it? Look, for a product photo, don't just write jacket. That's so unhelpful. Be specific. Black leather jacket with silver zippers. For a blog post, dog is useless. But golden retriever playing with a tennis ball in a park? Now we're talking. And please, for a chart, never just write chart. Tell us what the data shows. And the absolute worst thing you can do, of course, is just leave the default file name.
So, to recap the big don'ts. Never ever leave the alt text blank on an important image. Don't stuff it with a bunch of keywords, pizza, great pizza, best pizza. That just sounds like spam. Don't write a whole novel. And here's a little pro tip. If an image is just there for decoration, like a swirly line, you should actually use an empty alt attribute. That tells screen readers to just skip over it. which makes for a much better user experience.
If you will remember one thing from all of this, let it be this idea right here. Think of yourself as a translator. Your job is to translate the visual information of an image into clear, simple text for people and search engines who can't see it, but can read or hear it. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Every single image on your website has a story to tell or some piece of information it's trying to share. And alt text is what gives that image a voice. It makes sure that its story can be heard by absolutely everyone.
And that leaves me with just one final thought for you. Go have a look at your own website. Think about all those images you've so carefully picked out. What story are your images waiting to tell?